Let's move on to the Sigerson Cup. We're going to speak with the winning Sigerson manager in just a minute. First though, let's hear from, actually let's just watch a little bit of the video. This is from Jerome Quinn in the Higher Education GAA.
Con, what's it like to win the Sigerson?
It's really sweet, really enjoyable. Only came into the team really last week. I was staying in touch, but really special feeling.
How is it different?
I suppose you're playing with lads from different counties, and you're normally battling against them, in really competitive matches in Croke Park or whatever. So it's very nice to be able to play with them and a bit of camaraderie between the teams, or between the players from different counties. So it's very nice.
What was the intensity like out there of this particular game? I mean, it is different. It's universities.
Yeah, they put it up to us hugely, and the pitch held up. Wasn't it? The match we played on Wednesday was a much different game, but they really put it up to us, and we expected that. We were lucky enough to get away one point winners in the end.
Yeah, so you're usually with the Dubs, but you see all these lads from all the different counties: Tipperary man, Monaghan men, Kerry men. I mean, it's a great mix.
Mayo men even as well. Stephen Cohen, our captain. So. There's a great mix, and as I said, there's a great bond between those lads. So it's really enjoyable to be a part of that.
Conor McCarthy from Monaghan with the goal. I think he scored 1-6 in the game. We've got John Divilly, the UCD manager, on the line. John, congratulations.
Thanks very much, guys.
Yeah, so it was close in the end. It sounds like it was a proper ding-dong.
It was a fantastic game of football. End-to-end stuff. Could have gone anywhere, to be honest. It looked like extra time was going to happen again from a UCD perspective, but we just held out in the end. But really good game of football. Two teams that went at it. Lots of quality players on view, and it was a good end to the Sigerson campaign for us anyway.
There's no manager in the country who wouldn't actually like the challenge of taking on a team like UCD with the talent that they have. But with that level of talent comes expectation and comes pressure on yourself as well to deliver, because, as Con said there, you can spring Con in situations like that, and we all know what a talent he is. But, there must have been some pressure on you as well.
Well, not really. I mean, look, my job is to get the best out of the guys, to make sure that they have a good time playing football in college. It's a small window. They have lots of external stuff going on. Most importantly is the academic side. And, it's all changed from when I was playing, where exams were at the end of the year. Now guys are on continuous assessment week in, week out. Lots of exams 3 or 4 times in their academic year. So football is a great relief for them. And we need to make sure that the release is positive and that they're coming out and enjoying themselves. So pressure, there's pressure in any coach, because you always want the best for your team. So whatever pressure I put on myself, I have to deal with that. But players, if we didn't win on Sunday, or on Saturday, so be it. We didn't win last year, we won the year before. We could have won 3 in a row, we could have lost 3 in a row. Like, that's the way football goes. It's very unpredictable at times, and we're just lucky that we came out on the right side of a great game of football on Saturday. And I do feel sorry for NUIG. They played great football, and they have a great captain in Damien Comer, and he lost his grandfather at the weekend. So our deepest sympathies go out to Damien from everyone in UCD.
Absolutely. Well, just on the Sigerson 2 years ago, John, it must be very satisfying for you, given the level of turnaround that happens in college, because presumably it was a very different panel 2 years ago to the one this year, and it's almost vindication for the work you're doing that you managed to pull out 2 Sigersons with 2 different teams.
Yeah, I suppose that there is a high turnover. From last year's team, even, I think we just 5 starters. Now, the life cycle of most students is about 4 years. So, a good few guys were knocking around the panel 2 years ago when we won. A good few of them were knocking around again last year. So it's just, trying to get the balance. Guys come in and out of form. Some guys that played last year are still in UCD this year, but decided not to play. That, they had the commitment to travelling up and down for county training. They had lots of placement issues. They have to go and work for a year in their college courses. So you don't know until September what guys you're going to have available to you. And then obviously from September to December, when you're getting to know them again, things happen with injuries, with club commitments, and then some guys get called into county panels They just decide, I can't serve two masters, I suppose, and you just have to respect that and work with what you have. So, yeah, it's a different challenge every year, and it is really enjoyable then when you can bring a bunch of players together in a few short weeks and obviously try and win a competition.
One of the big talking points from the match was the fact that Ciara Malloy went up via Garda escort to Dublin after playing in Tullamore that afternoon to feature and come on after 39 minutes for NUI Galway. Now that the dust has settled a little bit, what's your reaction to that whole thing being? It's kind of indicative of a wider problem, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a huge problem, and I mean, this potential problem was flagged last November. I mean, we flagged it potentially that Corofin, if they kept progressing, might be in a final. And they had the date already fixed as the Sigerson final fixed for the same day as the All-Ireland Club semi-final. So to me, I mean, we hear a lot of top brass people in the GAA talk about respect for players and welfare and fixtures issues. They knew this could happen, yet they turned a blind eye to it, hoping that, well, maybe no one will be involved. We might get away with it. They didn't get away with it, and it was very, very harsh. Now, I mean, fair play to Ciara Malloy for travelling up. We didn't ask Liam Silk to travel up because I thought it was highly unfair to put a player in that situation. Ciara Malloy travelled up. He's a great young guy, and he played very well when he came in. I mean, what needs to happen here, in my view, I'm a good while in Sigerson football, is either the current president or the incoming president of the GAA needs to sit down, not with third-level committees, not with former players. Sit down with the 16 current managers in Sigerson, bring in the 16 current captains and say, look guys, we want this competition to survive and thrive into the future. How can we do it? You're the guys on the ground dealing with the problems day in, day out. There is no point in bringing in inter-county managers because it's not their problem. Their problem is to deal with their competitions. This is our problem. And if the GAA want to really solve it, they need to kind of sit down and just stop, all this fluff talk, because all that's going to happen is if we don't sit down in the next few months, we'll be talking about this in 2019.
If that did happen, John, what would you say to them?
Well, I'd have my personal opinion, but I mean, it's not fair for me to air that here. I think we all should be brought into the room and have a deep conversation about it. Suss out the traditions of the competition, the values and the importance of young guys in college, because we do really forget, you're talking about Con there. Con is only a 21-year-old guy, I mean, with lots of stuff going on. He needs to be able to enjoy his football, as does all the other players in the country, without worrying about implications. If you play a college game or you train with your college, it's going to affect your inter-county position. And that is the reality for a lot of colleges players around the country, that they're afraid if they miss a training or miss a game with their county, it's really going to affect them. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. I mean, colleges football is there to add to a player's career that will help them deal with, high pressurised situations, which championship ultimately is, and that's what inter-county is all about, trying to win the All-Ireland.
Can the Sigerson Cup survive on this current path that the GAA is going, John? Because it seems to me that the pressure on college players is a lot worse than it was even 5-10 years ago. It
can survive, and it will survive. It's just a matter of how much the GAA wants it to be a good competition. If they want it to be a good competition, they have a great sponsor in there now in Electric Ireland. They do a lot of work on the social media side promoting it. I mean, if they wanted to survive and be a top-level competition, it will survive. If they want to pay lip service to it, then it'll gradually, decrease like the Railway Cup has. So they have a decision to make, and I really hope the new president coming in will take it on board and listen to the people that are trying to do the work in third level.
John, great stuff. Thanks very much for joining us. Congratulations again. It's some achievement. Good man yourself. Thanks a million.
Thanks very much, guys.
Just to leave that point, the Railway Cup is there was this great thing. Everybody loved it for a while, and then you sit there and you sit in your hands and, geez, we should do something about that. We should do something about the Sigerson of the given, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
And that's what it's like, sitting on hands going,
let off.
He's right though.
Yeah, I think slowly over time people pay less and less interest in it, and it just gets sidelined because, the championship and inter-county level is made front and centre, and perhaps even in a way with the club championship because of these ridiculously tight windows, and you have to play it off like a blitz in the space of a month. everything is having to subside for the inter-county beast, and I don't think that's right at all. I mean, I think in terms of the list of priority, club should be number 1, inter-county number 2, and then the college competitions number 3, because when you come down to it, all college players are club players initially. All inter-county players are club players initially.
That suggests they all have to be, there has to be this kind of perpetual row between these things. But actually, you can have windows where you go and say, for now, we're going to celebrate this amazing competition that we had, and we're going to give you this month. Like if you, so the college basketball, March Madness, it's all played off over a month. No one cares because it's just a month, and that's fine. Like if you were to give the Sigerson and Fitzgibbon a month, Saturdays and Sundays, and everybody paid attention to it for that month, I think it could thrive. And so long as it's not, so long as Corfin aren't without 2 of their best players, or 2 of their players are thinking, if I just save myself now for the next 10 minutes, I might get, like, do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
It's even sad when you look at the All-Ireland club final, that there's still inter-county action that weekend. They haven't even prioritised that to have a weekend of its own. And obviously I have skin in the game there, and you might, point at that. But the point is that, for years and years and years, it's getting a little bit sidelined by that. And like the Railway Cup, there's years where there was 40 and 50,000 at.
Oh, yeah.
How brilliant would it be to watch like Seamus Callanan with Patrick Horgan and with Austin Gleeson?
Amazing.
And this is, one weekend is built around it.
Yeah.
It'd be incredible.
I know. And
if it was done right now and everyone was pushing for it.
They have the TV coverage for it as well. Shane, good man, thanks a million, best of luck.
Thank you.
Hope the twice a day training sessions aren't killing you.
Oh, no.
Leaving you plenty of fitness for the imminent All-Ireland club final. Anyway, we'll leave that one there.